Thank y'all for having me out here today. I was told to say a little bit about myself, and what I'll do is I will give you a little bit of background, and then I'll talk a little bit about what we've done in the city so far, and then open it up for any questions that you might have. Is that okay? Sound like a plan? And we'll talk, and I won't talk at you. We can converse. Okay, I grew up in Lubbock. I was born and raised in Lubbock, Texas. Let me go back a little bit further. My mom and dad. My dad crossed the border when he was 4. He grew up in Harlingen. And then he met my mom somewhere along the line. I think you feel what the council wants and what this community wants and how we want to go forward with the different objectives that have been lined out by the council and by this community. As you know, you passed a bond that is pretty aggressive for quality of life. And also there's about $200 million, a little bit over $200 million for street projects throughout the city. And how do you combine those two and coalesce it so that it's aligned with the council's strategic plan? So the council did a strategic plan, I guess back in the fall of 2013, but it wasn't operationalized. And what I mean by that, it wasn't integrated into the staff work. So the strategic plan was over here and staff was working over here, and there wasn't this coalescence or communication going on. So we've been really focused on that strong communication and improving that with the city council. And what we've done actively is we've met with them, I've met with them on a one-on-one basis, have gone out to the different districts to get a better idea of what exactly their focus is, what's important in their respective district, and then also gone back and spoken to the community and gotten feedback from them as well. Communication is improved not only with the council, but also with the community at large. So those are some of the things we're doing to make that communication better. But more importantly, the budget and the way that was put together in the past, we really had a lot of shortfalls in the revenue because you had really aggressive revenue forecasts, and it really wasn't aligned with the true dollars that were coming in. So what we did this year, instead of just looking at forecasts, we looked at actual dollars. Kind of like in your company, if you're making $200,000 a year and coming in and you made 200, and then the year before you made 190, and the year before you made 190, 185, 197, then you're going to average that out and say, I'm probably going to make about 195 if I'm being careful with the dollars. Well, that's what we did at the city. They were over projecting, and so what we did, we looked at the actual dollars of what we were actually bringing in, and then we course corrected. So I think that this year we feel real comfortable about the revenues and what we forecasted there. The thing about the expenditure side, though, there's a lot of things that the council is being made aware of that I don't think they were very familiar with as far as some of the expenditures that are going on. Like, for example, the airport. We're having to pay $1 million of that over 10 years, and that just recently came to bear. So those kinds of things that are coming up are ways that we have to find to pay for it. Another example of that is when we have a capital project where we have to match dollars with TxDOT. We're getting a pretty big project and we're paying a percentage of it. You know, if you're getting a $50 million project and you're paying $1 million, that's a pretty good ROI, isn't it? Pretty good return on investment. But you have to come up with the money of that $1 million to pay over the 10 years. Well, those things slowly get added to the expenditure side. So balancing that is obviously the art of managing an organization this size. Now with 6,000 employees, I think getting them all on the same page, revenues are aligned with the expenditures, those things will take care of itself because we're going to be focused more on the goals, focus more on objectives, focus more on what needs to happen in each respective district. The other day, as far as speaking to the communication and how I think that's improved, I was meeting with one of the representatives, and she told me, and it wasn't Ms. Acosta, because she has always a long list. She's working hard for you in your district. But this one representative said, I have nothing, because you've already kind of handled all the different items that I've brought up throughout the last 2 or 3 weeks. And that's kind of where we want to get to. We want to get to where we're more responsive, we're quicker in how we're delivering the service, so that not only the council notices, but you notice it. So we have a long way to go, but I think we're making some progress, and that's what we've been focused on the last, I guess the last 100 days. Do you have any questions?